Okay, hi guys! Welcome to the live stream. We're starting now, and I'm just really starting to get this excited. What am I talking about? I'm really excited to get this going today. We're doing a palette recommendation tag, and this was done by somebody else a while ago. I have their channel linked down below. Ooh, I should know their name. I feel like it's Kimberly. I don't know. I feel like it's Kimberly. I might be wrong. I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry, you guys. But I actually was recommended to do this tag by Cosmetic Chaos. It's my friend Candace. I've known her forever on YouTube. I also have her video doing this tag linked down below, so if you want to check that out, make sure you go for it. And welcome everybody to the live stream! Kinda new here, and Natalie, get props for hanging out real early. I don't know why you guys got notified so early, but you know. Welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for waiting and being patient and all that. Hi, Jen. Hi, Ivory. Hi, Niall. Hi, Tula. Hi, everybody. Kinda New Here says that she loves Candace. Candace is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. She's like, we're soul sisters. I don't know if that makes sense or anything, but you know what I mean. I feel like we're kind of the same person in some respects. So I really love Candace. You should check her out. Yeah, there she is in the live chat. Hi, Candace. So you guys go look at her channel. Go look at it. Hi, Mary. Hi, Terry. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. So today we're doing the palette recommend. Oh, wait. You guys don't know why I've been gone forever? If you don't follow me on Twitter, I did tweet about having strep throat. So I had a pretty bad case of strep throat. Had a fever for like 3 days. I got to 102 at one point. I immediately got on penicillin, like right away, but it took a couple days for it actually to start working. So I'm just starting to feel better now. My glands, my tonsils were like super huge and they were painful, and it was just really not fun. I was kind of like, you know, not really there mentally either because of the fever. So I'm sorry about not having any videos out recently. Sorry, I'm knocking things over. But we're going to get going again. I'll be filming a couple more videos tonight, so you can be able to expect some videos coming up here soon, and I'll be back on the regular schedule. So, hi Terry, hi Dana, hi Ruby, hi April, hi Jen. So that is where I've been. I've just been a little bit sick with strep throat, so yeah. Not fun, but we're all better now, on a lot of penicillin, feeling good in life, and we're going to jump into this palette recommendation tag. So guys, I have like a bajillion palettes here. A lot of palettes, and I've got a lot of things to tell you guys about them. I have all of these palettes listed in the description box down below, so if you're interested in any of them, go check that out. They're already down there. That's kind of why this live stream is so late, because it takes me forever to look up the links to all the palettes that I'm doing. So I gotta pull up my questions. I should have done this beforehand, but I'm not very smart. Okay, so the first palette question is the best palette for beginners. And I said this palette is the Lorac Pro 2. This is one of the first palettes that I got, and it is just, I want to make sure I'm doing things in frame, so just hold on a sec. Sorry guys. We're working it out. Why can't I make my window any smaller? There we go. Okay. That's not working. The struggle is real, you guys. The struggle is real. It's really real. Okay. So, oh yeah, and I don't have a chat box in here today because YouTube just announced that they're allowing live chat replay now. So they're going to be doing it like Facebook, where if you come back to a live video, afterwards you will see the chat off to the side. Actually, I think it'll be over here. But that's kind of cool. I get to use the whole frame now. You guys get to see more of my beautiful face, so that'll be a good time. But if you don't see that later on the replay, then let me know, because that it's broken. And I should know that it's broken. Okay, so this is my ultimate recommendation for a palette for beginners. It's the Lorac Mega Pro 2. It has the shimmers and the mattes kind of separated into two different, like, Rose. And as you can see, I've hit pan on a lot of those shades over here. And I just feel like there's a really good spread. No super duper intense colors in this. Everything's pretty safe, and most of this you can use with each other. Like, you're not going to use one color and use another color and be like, ooh, that doesn't go well. Everything in here is kind of a little bit muted, a little bit kind of nude tone, and I feel like it's really, really easy to use for a beginner, and Lorac are some of my favorite shadows ever. I feel like they really blend out really well. So that is why I recommend this palette, the Lorac Mega Pro 2, probably one of my favorite palettes of all time. And I have loved this thing since the beginning. So if you're looking for a palette and you're a beginner, this one's a good one. Okay. And my phone went to sleep again. Stop sleeping, phone. Stop sleeping. Tag question number 2. Best drugstore palette. So I did kind of some hemming and hawing about this because I was like, okay, what is defined as drugstore? And I'm going to go with stuff that you can actually get at the drugstore. And out of those things, I'm talking about things like you can get at CVS or Target or Walmart or something like that. And around me, this is the best palette I could ever find in the drugstore. This is the Rimmel London Magnify Shadow Palette in London's Nudes. That clicked. In London Nudes Calling. And there is one problem with this palette. There's not really any matte shades. They're pretty much all shimmer. But these are such good quality for the drugstore. And I feel like this is a whole new level of drugstore quality eyeshadows. So that's why I really, really like these. I feel like it's, you know, everything is pretty pigmented, pretty reflecty, and pretty. They're very pretty. But in general, I feel like this was the first palette that I really got from the drugstore that I felt could compete with my higher end palettes. And it was like $6-7 or something like that. So affordable and definitely really good. If you guys are looking for a really affordable palette from the drugstore that you can just go and pick up, the Rimmel Magnify Shadow palettes are very good and I love them. What's on my lips? I didn't bring it up here. Oh my gosh. It's downstairs in my travel makeup bag. But it's the Galactic Beauty liquid lip that I got in a box a while ago. I don't remember what it is. After the video, I'll go down and look, and I'll comment it in the comments. So if you're looking for that, let me know. Candace, I'll tag you when I figure it out. But yeah, on my eyes right now, I'm wearing the Sweet Peach palette, and I just like didn't even realize there was like this greenish, grayish shade in there because I'm always all focused on the pinks and the purples in that palette, but I feel like that's kind of fun. That like little metallic-y goldy green. I like it. I know the color's a little bit screwed up. I can't control the color when I do live streams for some reason. It's weird, but I'm going to try to figure it out eventually. Posh. Posh. That sounds right. But I like it. I feel like I don't have any colors this shade either, so that's a good thing. Mariana asked, are you going to grab the Natasha Denona Demons Tropical palette? I have not even heard of that yet, but I typically love Natasha Denona stuff, so I'm going to have to check that out. It tends to be pretty expensive, so I don't know how expensive that specific one is, but it sounds like fun, so I might have to work it into the budget somehow. Okie dokie. Here we go. Come on, phone, work. Phone, work. Best palette for work/school, and this is something that I hummed and hawed about a little bit too, but I decided on the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette, and I just feel like for school or work, if you're looking, I'm the type of person who will wear any sort of eye look to school or work. It's just, I don't really care what people think of me, and I like pretty colors on my eyelids, so I typically wear everything, but I understand that not all people are like that, So I would recommend this palette because it gives you a ton of really nice matte shades that you can create kind of just like smoky, natural smoke. Is that a thing? Natural smoky? You know what I mean, but matte looks that aren't going to be super poppy, super colorful or anything, but they're going to help define your eye shape, give you a little bit of smoke, and help you to still look professional at the same time. That being said, I don't agree with the whole thing that you can't wear color to work or school or anything like that, but if you're one of those people who need something just a little bit more in the safe zone, the Kat Von D Shade to Light Eye Palette is definitely going to be safe zoning it, for sure. For sure, work appropriate. Hashtag appropriate for work. Yeah. Kind of New Set here says that this was in my BoxyCharm. I believe her. This must have been in my BoxyCharm, so if you want to know what it is, then you can go look at that video. I'll still find it and comment down below after the video is done. But if you need to know before that, then go check it out. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up. I'm so bad at keeping up. Okay, so next one. Next question is best palette for a natural way to play with color. So this popped into my head as soon as I read this question. It's the Tartelette palette. Tartelette. The Tartelette. Too many T's. But this is just kind of a matte purple toned palette, which I really, really enjoy. I feel like this is a good way to bring in color to your look without being too like bang out there. It's more of a natural color because you do have these purple shades. And as I've said a couple times on my channel, purple is like the overall awesome shade for all eye colors. All eye colors are going to look pretty awesome with some purple tones on them. So that's why I really like this palette for the natural, colorful eye palette type thing. I don't know. Does that make sense? But you guys get what I mean. And I like this palette. I feel like it's a good one. Recommend. Okay. And my next one is the biggest bang for your buck. And this one is probably not going to be a super surprise for any of you guys. I'm pulling it out of the bottom. And that's going to be the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. And I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but this is like real dirty. It's real dirty. It gets lots of love, you guys, and lots of love with like foundation fingers and eyeshadow fingers. It's definitely got some gunk on it, but that just shows how much I love it. And let's just peek at the inside real quick. I just feel like for the amount that this is, it's $38. You get a ton of shades. The shimmers are really pretty. There's definitely some, you know, not so great shades in there, but for everything you're getting, that is such a good deal for $38. So I would say this is the best bang for my buck that I've ever gotten. I've definitely bought palettes that were less expensive than this, but I don't use them nearly as often as I use this palette. So definitely recommend the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Ugh. And you can get it at Ulta now, so that's awesome as well. Don't have to pay for shipping. Okay. My phone keeps closing the screen. I need to teach it not to do that. I got a new phone. I have the iPhone X because Brian and I did a buy one get one deal, and I can't figure out how to make it not close the screen every 10 seconds. That's probably a setting I can set somewhere, you know? Probably a setting. Okay. Best palette for your skin tone. Honestly, this was a really hard one for me to answer because I feel like there's not necessarily palettes that are good for certain skin tones, except maybe darker skin tones look really, really pretty with purples and corals. So I love that. But for somebody who's pale, like I am, it's kind of hard to pick a specific palette and say, hey, this is great for my skin tone. Also, I'm kind of neutral. Maybe more people with cool skin tones lean more to cool colors and people with warm skin tones lean more to warm colors, but I'm neutral, so this makes this a really hard decision for me. Hashtag, you know, first world problems. I mean, really, I'm not complaining. I love my neutral skin. I feel like it helps me have a really easy time finding makeup that looks good. But it made answering this question a little hard, and I decided to go with the Lorac Mega Pro 2, and you can still get this at Kohl's. I looked it up. You can still get this at Kohl's. But I feel like this palette embodies my skin tone. It has a good mix of warm shades and cooler shades, and it just has a little bit of everything in it. So I felt like this was a really good palette to say it's my skin tone palette, you know what I mean? So yeah, I like this palette a lot, and I feel like this is a palette that's going to look good for most skin tones because this is actually one of the palettes that I bring with me when I do brides and stuff. It works for pretty much anyone in the bridal party. I've used this for someone lighter than me, and I've used it for someone like very, very dark skin tone as well. It looks great on any of them. I feel like it's just a really good palette, so I'd recommend it if you can still get your hands on it. It's a good one. Okay, next one. Best palette for your eye color. Okay, so I have blue eyes. They're pretty dark blue eyes, so sometimes they look a little bit more gray than blue, depending on, you know, what I'm wearing and what the weather is like outside, the light I'm in, that sort of thing. But the first palette that I ever got that I was like, ooh, my eyes are super blue, was the Becca Ombre Rouge palette, and this palette is just those really nice, warm ombre of colors, if that makes sense. This is a super easy palette to use. You can start with some of the lighter shades and kind of blend the darker shades in the corner, and it works so well. And those red orangey tones make blue eyes just like pop like crazy, which is why you guys see me wear like orangey red eyeshadow so often, is because I just love how it makes my eyes look, because it just makes them look like really super blue, like almost royal blue, because of those orange shades. And that's another thing, that's one of those color wheel things, because blue and orange are opposite on the color wheel, so orange is really going to make blue eyes pop, so love it. I would recommend this palette. I think this was a little expensive for this thing, but the colors blend so well. You do get a little bit of kick up in the pan, so you have to be careful, but great palette. I love this one. Okay. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to go back through at the end and answer some of your questions, you guys, but I just want to get through the questions that we have on here first to kind of get an idea of everything that I have. I'm almost done. So number 8 is the best all-in-one palette, and for that I'm going to say the Tarte Treasure Box palette. This was a holiday release, but I'm pretty sure Tarte does something similar to this every year. So I would recommend, if you're looking for a good palette for travel, try to look for one over the holidays, because I feel like they come out with really good kits around then. And in general, I just think this is a great palette for its variety. It has eyeshadows, it has blushes, highlight, bronzers, and then it also comes with an eyeliner, a mascara, and I believe this was a lip product that I stole out of here. So definitely a good travel palette, and it kind of fits up all in this one little box, and you just stick in your bag and go. Not like your purse bag, but your travel bag, you know. So this was like 40 bucks, I think. And I feel like that's a really good deal for everything you're getting in here, and it comes in this really travel-friendly case. So if you're looking for something like that, try to pick one up around the holidays. Oh, I'm yawning. Okay. Hi, Beth. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome to the live stream. Okay. And did I skip one? Oh, that was my best all-in-one palette. It kind of is travel-y too, but I meant best all-in-one palette because it has so many things in one. Sorry, you guys, I'm getting so confused. And then the best palette for travel, you know, this was kind of a toss-up too. I hemmed and hawed about switching these two around a couple times, but I ended up going with the Modern Renaissance palette for the best travel palette, and that might seem kind of weird, but I just like that it has, like, these lighter transitional shades here, has some good shimmers, some reds, some darker shimmers, and a brown deepener. I just feel like there's a really wide variety of looks that you can do with this palette, and I like sticking this, like, I have used this as my only palette going on vacation, probably 4 or 5 times, and I've been completely good. I've looked different every day, just because there's so many different things that you can do with the Modern Renaissance palette. This is generally just a keeper. This could have easily fit in plenty of the categories, the earlier questions. Yeah. If you haven't yet got this palette and you're a makeup enthusiast, you will like it. You should get it. Okay, and the palette I would not recommend is the Urban Decay Naked 3. This was also one of the first palettes I got, and don't get me wrong, there are Urban Decay palettes that are so great, but this is one of the first ones that I got, and I used to think it was good, and then I wised up. No offense if you do like this palette, no offense, it's everybody to each their own, but this palette to me, I cannot get very much pigmentation out of it. The shimmer shades are all flaky and glittery, and I feel like, you know, they're gone pretty quickly. And all the colors are so similar, and that can be really good for a beginner, but once you use it a few times, there's only 1 or 2 looks that you can do with a palette like this because all of these shades are like exactly the same. So if you're gonna go for a palette, if you're a makeup newbie and you need to get a palette, I probably wouldn't recommend this. I'd probably go with the Lorac Pro 2 instead, just because I still love the Lorac Pro 2, and I don't love this anymore. So I would recommend you don't get the Naked 3 palette. I haven't tried the other Naked palettes, so I can't attest to how those are. I have tried the Naked Heat palette, and I've liked that one. So I think it definitely depends on the palette, but can't recommend this one for you guys. Okay, so now I'd love to answer your questions. I'm going to go through and look at some of the questions that you guys have asked so far. So Diana asked, what about green eyes? What palettes are good for green eyes? Purple is going to look so good on green eyes because they're opposite ends of the spectrum. Purple looks great on all eyes, but on green eyes especially, it's going to make it pop. And also, green eyes with red is going to be super fiery. It's going to look super poppy and super intense. So, I mean, it's Christmas colors, so do that at your own risk, but I love the way green eyes look with a little bit of, like, orange fire ready shades around them. I think it looks great. But if you're looking for a more safe thing that's going to pop your eyes, it's going to be purple for sure. So for a purple palette, I'm trying to think of a good purple palette. You know, there are a lot of palettes with purple in them. The Tarte Tartelette palette is good, but even like something like this is from the Shop Miss A haul that I did, and this was just a few bucks, I think, and it's all purple shades, so that's really fun. These are really, really pigmented. Wet n Wild has some good purples too, but if you just go in the drugstore and look for purple shadows, they're going to look good on you. Also, Morphe has some really good palettes with a lot of purple shades in them too, so feel free to check that out. Okay, do you enjoy the Urban Decay palettes? Which one is your favorite? Out of the Urban Decay palettes, I would probably say that the Naked Heat palette is my favorite. Again, that's one of those things where I love the orange shades around my eyes. I feel like it just makes my blue eyes pop. So I really like that palette, and I feel like the colors are very nice on that. I haven't tried a lot of the other palettes, Yeah, that's basically where I'm at. I had the Naked 3, and for a while that really scarred me against getting any of the other palettes, but I did get the Naked Heat, and I do love that. Okay, trying to find more questions. You guys, if you have any questions, leave them with at ColorMeCassie at the beginning so I can see them a little bit easier. Yes. Kinda New Her says Bare Sensuals palette is in purple, so look that up if you are looking for a green eye palette. Kimberly says, any recommendations for brown eyes? So with brown eyes, because brown is more of a warm color, you want to move towards the cooler shades. So, I mean, there's kind of two ways you can go with brown eyes. If you do like bronzy shades around your eyes, it's going to look like the brown is just kind of emanating from your eyes. So it's not going to like pop them. They're not going to stick out against whatever's around them, but it's kind of going to be like your eyes are continuing out, if that makes sense. So you can do bronze on brown eyes and have it look really, really pretty. But if you want them to really pop and look very cool, I like doing a little bit of cooler tones around the eyes. So blues and purples, silvers, stuff like that is really going to help your brown eyes pop. Yeah. Okay. So guys, I'm having trouble finding any questions farther back. So if you have any questions, let me know in the live chat right now. Otherwise, I think we'll be done in a couple minutes here. Ruby said, have you seen the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia? What do you think? I have seen it. I haven't like actually seen people use it yet. I don't know if it's released yet. I completely was out of this world when I had my fever and everything. So I'm a little bit behind on the makeup news right now, but I wanted to buy that one to let you guys know what I think. So if you want me to buy the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, let me know, and I will do that.